I know you're going to take a break.
The only band ever to have their first 4 albums debut at #1. 1D is the biggest British export since the Beatles.
That One Direction was not a band, they were a brand.
But he was also someone who always looked like he needed a hug.
I never really wanted to be that.
They were assigned these roles.
I think I kind of always wanted to go.
All me and Larry Stylinson.
That's right, it was a very lonely experience.
I'm afraid Zane's not too well backstage. He's not feeling very good at all. That's the fact that he just rapped. Sorry. I am going to need your help singing this one.
Within 10 years, are you guys making the 10th album or the 8th album, or are you going...
I was worried how far my rock bottom was going to be.
He struggled with eating to the point of making himself ill.
I'm afraid Zane's not too well backstage. He's not feeling very good at all.
One member in particular threw me up a wall.
We got sick of each other.
Zane, I hate to do this, dude. I'm just calling you for a bridge. What time is it now? You've been asleep for 10 minutes. I'm sorry, dude.
One Direction went through a lot together as a band. From the X Factor stage to the world stage, these boys had to follow extremely strict rules. They weren't ever able to do what they wanted. No dyeing their hair, no growing beards, no girlfriends, and certainly no friendships. This band was forced to follow the executives' rules, which ultimately led them into a downward spiral of depression and addiction. So let's get into it. Back in 2010, 5 guys got together and performed on a show called X Factor under the name One Direction. After their debut performance, their fame skyrocketed and they became one of the most popular music groups. And while I think we all know One Direction pretty well, a lot of people don't talk about the dark times and the shady things about this band. I think everyone knows that there was something wrong here because of how the band fell apart, but we don't really have the details. But in hindsight, if you look back on their interviews and some of their interactions, there were plenty of red flags and the signs were there.
There's a couple I did myself that aren't very good.
What, were you with the actual gun?
Yeah.
With the thing?
I got, yeah, one of my friends does a lot, and I got him a gun for his birthday. With all the right, you know, sterilizing equipment.
We were literally, me and Harry were in a hotel room. We were in a hotel room with a tattoo gun. Thought it was clever to do it on each of their...
Hi, I'm Amy Adams, and I'm hosting SNL this week with musical guest One Direction.
Should we put you down?
Oh, don't you dare.
Your band member on the other end, Zane, forgive me if I get it wrong, he was quivering because my upper body apparently was too heavy for him.
Wow, I highly doubt that.
He really was by the end because we took so many takes, you know, I think that was a bit heavy for him. I think he's used to lighter girls.
I think people have this whole, like, public perception that we all hate each other and One Direction is never going to happen ever again and blah 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 blah. I think people are making that up. Like, yeah, no, we've never given any hint.
No, you only hate one of the guys. That's all. I don't hate all of them.
Hold it up! Hold it up! Mary! Gentlemen, on the left side together. Hold it up! Hold it up!
Guys, all the way in the middle! In the middle, guys!
just say, none of you are looking very fat, considering we've had Christmas and New Year. You've clearly not been stuffing your face like we have.
We actually, well, I actually stuffed my face big time at Christmas.
Yeah,
to be
big
honest with you.
time.
No, you never loved the sound of your voice on tape. You never want to know how much you still have to squeeze into your jeans. And you're perfect to me. The sound of your voice on tape. You never want to know how much you still have to squeeze into your jeans. And you're perfect to me. Your voice on tape, you never want to know how much you still have to squeeze into your jeans, and you're perfect to me. You never want to know how much you still have to squeeze into your jeans, and you're perfect. You're perfect to me. Some tape you never want to know how much you weigh. You still have to squeeze into your jeans. You're perfect to me. Some tape you never want to know how much you still have to squeeze into your jeans. And you're perfect to me. Some tape into your jeans, and you're perfect to me. Some tape you never want to know how much you still have to squeeze into your jeans, and you're perfect to me.
Can't you see? Sometimes your words just hypnotise me.
Thank you very much. And also, it's a really cool award, so thank you, because we get to take it home now and put it in our house. Yeah, it looks sick. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
But if I did hear what I heard out there, I just want to tell you that you deserve every bit of success that you have. And don't you dare let those people boo you. And I put that booing in my own show because I wanted to make a comment about that. And that's so, I want to leave right now. Like, I don't even want to stay anymore. Because I don't want to be in a room where people will be like that.
Fuck it.
You deserve a lot.
I feel slightly underdressed.
And baby, now we got bad blood.
I think I kind of always wanted to go, like from like the first year. Really, I never really wanted to be there.
When a deal was made with a powerful demon, or as you mortals call him, Simon Cowell.
There is no other side. This is it.
Guys, along with controversial opinions, I'm starting a new series today where I talk about some stories about One Direction you might not know about. Part 1, we're going to talk about Zari. No, not Zari. This Zari. This is Harry Styles and Xander Ritz. Xander Ritz is an ex-lacrosse player who Harry met in late 2014. We don't really know much about his past. After the two met, they were seen frequently together on Harry's breaks. Here's another example, and another. And many started to suspect the two were dating after he was seen in One Direction shows in New York, Minnesota, San Diego, Philly, and more. Here's him at a show with Jeff Azoff. Harry followed both of his siblings on Instagram and brought him to Lottie Tomlinson's birthday party. Harry was also seen in Philadelphia at Xander's hometown with his parents. Moving on to solo, he was seen at the Today Show and a Philadelphia show where he sat with Anne the whole time. Anne tweeted this after the show. Now, I'm not saying they're dating, but a lot of people think they did. I'll make another part soon. Hey guys, this is part 3 of One Direction stories you might not know. Today, I'm going to be talking about h3ll Riley. This was an incident involving Zari and a girl who was coming to One Direction's hotel. Zayn was calling her, and apparently she was going there to hook up with him and Harry, apparently. Zayn called her and was actually getting weirdly, like, a little aggressive, and told her to not look like a fan when she walked in, and if anybody asked who she was, to say her name was h3ll Riley. Wouldn't even know Harry was there if Zayn hadn't said when they were talking about how long it was going to take for her to get there, Harry says you have to be a bit quicker than that. The reason this was mostly controversial is A, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure him and Perry were together at the time. B, this would mean Zari might have had a threesome. And a lot of people came to the conclusion that it wasn't for Zayn, he was just calling her for Harry. I'll link the vid in the comments, and I'm going to do Rainbow Bondage Bear next. I just need a little more time for that one. This is part 4 of Wendy's stories you might not know, and today I'm doing the bondage bears. I'm going to split this video up into 2 parts. 1, just what they are and what they're about, and then 2, why people think they're connected to Larry. So let's start all the way at the beginning. I'm going to show on the Where We Are tour, a fan threw this bear on stage. 2 days later, the bear returned at a 1D show, but now it was just an electrical tape bondage. The bear then got its Twitter account, which was advertised at the show at Bondage Bear 1D. It started out with little tweets like this, but then its first gay reference appeared. Not saying this has to do with Larry. I tweeted about Judy Garland, who was a gay icon in the 50s. After that tweet, the account was suspended and it didn't appear again until the On the Road Again tour. A lot of people thought their drummer Josh Devine was behind it, but he claimed he wasn't. During the tour, though, a new bear joined him, and fans dubbed him Sugar Baby Bear. The last thing I'll talk about for the next part with Larry is the bondage bear reading this book. This book was about a person who was in a band who suffered from a lot of pressure from media and an eating disorder. I'll post the Larry part later today. Message me if you have any ideas. This is part 5 of Wendy stories you might not know about, and today we're going to be talking about the feud between The Wanted and One Direction, because I didn't know about this for the longest time. It all started when Zayn Malik called Max George Chlamydia Boy in a really weird Twitter thing. No jabs continued, but what really happened was this long fight between Louis and one of the members, Tom. It's long, so I'll show all the pictures and I'll show my favorite highlights. This is the first one, the second, and the last one. Favorite part was after Liam joined and he said, "Our drummer has more followers than you." But then the girlfriends joined in. It was so messy that Danielle just ended with, "Oh dear." So the next thing that happened was The Wanted joked about having a fight with One Direction, like a boxing match. Remember Tom saying, "Yeah, let's do that, a celebrity death match." So in the end, as most One Direction fans know, we sort of ended The Wanted's careers. After they tried to fight One Direction, their careers just sort of beep. Anyway, that's the end of that. If you have any suggestions, comment it. Okay. This is 1D Stories You Might Not Know About, Part 5. Today, I'm going to be talking about Mr. X. And this is a weird one, so get ready. This all started way back in 2012, where accounts started posting some 1D predictions, and some of them started coming true, so fans started paying attention. They claimed to be a 1D insider, and that one of them would be assassinated at a One Direction concert on December 2nd, 2012. People said that a girl got arrested at that concert with a gun, so people started to believe it even more. They also claimed that there was more than Mr. X, and that there was Mr. W and Z and other stuff. I know this sounds a lot like Pretty Little Liars. It picked up again in 2015 when this happened. After a series of predictions came true with Mr. X, people thought Harry Styles was going to die. Harry Be Careful started trending on Twitter and it was everywhere. Of course, we know Harry didn't die, but I'm also going to now show some pictures of these Omegle conversations which sort of started this all. Here's the first one. And another example. Mr. X turned into a cult-like thing in the fandom, and luckily it's over now, and I'll do another part soon. This is part 7 of 1D Stories You Might Not Know About, and today I'm going to be talking about the Larry scene in Euphoria, because I heard a lot of people actually didn't know about this. The 3rd episode of Euphoria aired. People were a little shocked by some of the contents. The main character's Kat. She was a fanfic writer who in this universe was generally credited for creating the Larry silence and relationship rumors. This episode featured a graphic, sexual, animated version of a Larry fanfiction. I'm not going to show it here because I don't want the video to get taken out, but I'll put the link in the comments. Some Larry fans even got excited because they thought maybe this meant that Louis or Harry had approved this. When asked, Louis said, "I can categorically say that I was not contacted, nor did I approve it." Harry hasn't spoken on it, but Louis said in another interview, "I get the culture intention behind it. I just felt like a little bit, no, I'm not gonna lie, I was pissed off. It annoyed me that a big company would get behind it." Louis didn't end up taking legal courses of action or anything, but fans were pretty disappointed that Euphoria would let the scene out, even Larry's. I'll do another part of this series soon. Okay, bye. This is part 8 of 1D Stories You Might Not Know About, and today I'm going to be talking about the feud between Grimshaw and Louis Tomlinson. It all started way back in 2013 when Louis made a comment about how it was annoying when he wanted to go outside and there was a lot of paparazzi, which, fair. Grimshaw then made a comment saying, "I love a complaining pop star. It's my favorite thing, all complaining. Ow, I can't go outside because I'm famous. Ow." Louis was not happy with this comment. Then said the old Radio 1 DJ was better than Nick Grimshaw, which Chris responded with this. He even chimed in saying, "Don't know why people have to get brave. Mind your own business." And at Louis Tomlinson, "Love you, bro." Then Eller chimed in saying she wasn't a big fan of Grimshaw. Stopped until I think a year later when someone on Nick's show made a comment about Louis being annoying. 1D fans then started attacking him, even though Nick didn't even say the comment. Responded with, "Hey 1D fans, enough with the charming homophobic death threats, yeah?" So that's the end of it, but people were interested in this, especially because Harry Styles, those were his 2 best friends at the time. Part 9 soon. This is part 10 of 1D Stories You Might Not Know About, and today I'm going to be talking about English Love Affair and the fling between Gemma Styles and Ashton Irwin. And disclaimer, a lot of this is more fan theories than anything, and not much of it is confirmed. Okay, so while Five Sauce was on tour with One Direction, Ashton and Gemma started to be seen hanging out together. Ashton said, quote, "We do hang out. Gemma's been on tour with 1D and she really does get it. She's cool to hang around with." And the two were caught leaving a hotel together in Dublin. They were seen hanging out together other times, and that's apparently them kissing, but it's not confirmed. There's another with Gemma's just in the background. Now where the song comes in, if you don't know, Five Sauce has a song called English Love Affair about one of them having a little fling with a person who's English, and a lot of people have come to the conclusion that it was Gemma on tour. Once again, I think this is one of the things that fans mostly created, but people think it makes sense with the girls he was hanging out with around the time, and that's pretty much it. There's not a lot to this one, but I still think it's really funny because I can't imagine Harry finding out about it. This is part 11 of Wendy's stories you might not know about, and today I'm going to be talking about a fight between Zayn Malik and Jake Paul. This all started in February of 2020, where apparently Jake Paul didn't have a great experience meeting Zayn, and then he had his brother Logan go up to Zayn's hotel room and start trying to talk to him. Of course, Zayn, who has social anxiety, did not like that and started yelling. There's a video of that, I'll link in the comments. But the next morning, Jake tweeted this. Almost had to clap up Zayn from One Direction because he's a little guy and has an attitude, and you can just read the rest. And LOL, I feel bad for childhood stars. Oh, but then GD responded with this. I love her. The next day, Jake started to try to do some damage control by tweeting this. Someone needs to take away my phone when I'm drunk because I'm an effing idiot. And One Direction fans were not happy and started attacking both Logan and Jake everywhere. Logan tried to act like he was being the bigger person by trying to go apologize, but he was really just invading Zayn's privacy completely. Put the link to the video in the comments and I'll do another part soon. This is part 12 of Wendy's stories you might not know about, and part 1 of Zayn and Louis drama after Zayn left the band. I'm going to be talking about the drama between Zayn, Naughty Boy, and Louis. After Zayn left One Direction, he started working with a producer and a musician named Naughty Boy, and after he posted these pics on Twitter, Louis responded with this. Remember when you were 12 and you used to think those Mac filters on your pictures were cool, haha, some people still do, ha, and how does it feel to be riding on the back of someone else's career? Then Zayn responded with the @Louis Tomlinson, remember when you had a life and stopped making bitchy comments about mine? And then defended himself with this. And well, this is how Naughty Boy responded. I tried to not take an opinion on this and just state the straight facts. I know some people don't know about it, but I don't really want to pick sides because I love Zayn and Louis. And the next part I'm doing is about the X Factor performance, and again, just facts because I don't want to start a war in the comments about this. But yeah, I'll do another part soon. It's like almost midnight, but I'm going to do the part 2 to the Zayn and Louis stuff. Anyway, so this is part 13 of Wendy stories you might not know about, and part 2 of the Zayn and Louis drama. Most people know in December of 2016, Louis Tomlinson's mother, Joanna, passed away, and Louis was set to perform on the X Factor just a few days later for his first solo live performance. For context, Zayn had already reached out on Twitter to send his condolences to the Tomlinson family. But when the h3ll performance came, Harry, Liam, and Niall all showed up, and Zayn did not. When discussing the relationship after this, Louis said truthfully it never got better, and all the boys had agreed to come to the performance, and he didn't show, and it really bugged him. Zayn said they were in touch on a civil level, but it's not the way it used to be. This is a hard thing to talk about because I know the fandom is pretty split on it. Some people are really disappointed in Zayn for not showing up, and some people are saying we don't know enough to really come to a decision. But anyway, that's going to be the end of the Louis Zayn drama, and I'll do another part soon. Okay, this will be another quick one, but this is part 14 of Wendy Stories You Might Not Know. Sort of. Someone just asked what the box was, and it is a club in London, and there's also one in New York, and it really is, it's like a club, but it's also sort of like a sex club. That's really all it is. And Harry has been seen there on multiple occasions. Here's one from 2013, 2020. I think this is either 2012 or 2013. I think people are just making like a bigger deal out of it is because like so many celebrities have been to the box. Like there are like pictures of like so many famous people. Niall's been there too. Like I think people are making some assumptions which we don't necessarily know are true, but that's really all it is. This one's just not really a big deal. This is part 15 of Wendy Stories You Not Know About. Until this person comment, I completely forgot about this, which is that Louis Tomlinson got arrested at the Los Angeles airport in 2017. So Louis and Eleanor were getting back from vacation, and a photographer started taking pictures of Louis and Eleanor, and Louis asked them to stop, and he didn't, so they got into a fight where Louis ended up knocking the photographer down. By the time he got up, he saw that Eleanor was cornered into a wall by these two girls. So he ran over and tore the girl in the gray sweatshirt off of Eleanor, and everyone was freaking out, and he got taken away by police, and they got pushed back by police too. The girl had a small cut and claimed in a video that she was going to press charges and that he socked her. I'll link the video of the fight and the video of this girl talking about it in the comments. There's Eleanor leaving the airport. He ended up getting out pretty quickly on a $20,000 bond, but he faced a lot of controversy for this because a lot of people took different sides. But I'll do another part soon, and yeah. This is part 16 of Wendy's stories you might not know about, and today we're going to be talking about some people in the fandom think this is the saddest picture of Louis Tomlinson ever taken. Also, shout out from Maddie from my group chat for having this idea. So early in their careers, One Direction performed at a gay bar in London where a ton of celebrities perform a lot. It was a very exciting performance, and there's a lot of like cake everywhere and everything. So quick, for a non-Larry side of the story, Louis said that he got drunk before this performance, and he got flown out to LA by Simon afterwards for him, and Simon gave him a talking to about like being more mature and not getting drunk before performances. For the Larry side, Harry and Louis were both acting pretty flamboyant, but especially Louis during this performance, and they were getting pretty close to each other. So the Larry narrative is that Louis did get flown out to LA, but instead of her talking about getting drunk, it was about him being less flamboyant, less himself, and hanging around Harry less. And people say this was the last time he truly acted like himself during One Direction. Okay, I'll do that part soon. A few things. You can go check out my Etsy. It's in my bio, and I have a Q&A up if any of you want to ask me any questions or have any suggestions for this series. This is part 17 of Wendy's stories you might not know about, and today I'm going to be talking about Lou Teasdale, who she is, and why a lot of our fandom doesn't like her anymore. Lou Teasdale was One Direction stylist all the way from 2010 to the very end of their careers in 2015-2016. She was really close to all the guys, and her daughter Lux grew up around them, and they all sort of like hung around her forever. December of 2020, she appeared on the podcast Sex Lies and DM Slides, which is a Spotify podcast. And she said some interesting things about her time in One Direction. Like, I didn't party too much with them and got involved in too much of that side of it. You know, some of the women did and would end up, you know. Me, I was with them right at the beginning and right into the end, so you kinda can't sleep with them. It's quite important to keep your job. Lou revealed some newcomers would dive for the job and fall in love with the boys. This might not seem so bad, but she went on to make it sound like if the girls would sleep with the guys, they would then get fired from their jobs. And that the guys were like having sex with all these people on their staff. So people don't like her anymore. If you have any ideas, answer my Q&A.